Hi guys, welcome to another episode of African Travel Now with Trevor. I have managed to get someone and corner them at the entrance of the Airbnb Africa Summit. I'll ask them to introduce themselves and what they do.
My name is Benjamin Ananinsia. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, based in Accra, Ghana.
Yes, and how has COVID changed the way that you work?
Well, COVID changed our mindset generally a bit. I think as a country, we were forced to appreciate the contribution of tourism to the economy even more. We've always known that tourism brings jobs, it brings foreign exchange, but the impact was so real and visible that all the businesses along the supply chain were feeling that the absence of tourism. Hotels had to lay off staff, some restaurants closed and they have never come back, craft sellers and so on. Everybody felt it. And then they realized how much of their business was supported by tourism flows, And so that awareness has turned positive. I think at the national level, at the very highest levels of decision making in the country, tourism is being given a new attention. We just had a presidential summit on tourism. There's a blueprint and a strategy for the next few years, how a whole of government approach, including infrastructure development, capacity building, and all of that should go together to make sure that we have a sector that is resilient and so on. Again, COVID made us focus more on domestic tourism. So there was a renewed campaign encouraging Ghanaians to travel within their country. We call it See Ghana, Share Ghana, all kinds of stuff like that. Then we started looking at the long term. We encouraged schools to form tourist clubs. So there are a lot of the secondary schools, which in Ghana generally are boarding schools, have tourist clubs where before they leave high school, they've probably gone out to 2 or 3 field trips. Idea is to build the interest of travel when they are young so that they can be capitalized upon when they are old. So they become the future demand drivers for the business. And then we are encouraging workplaces also to form tourist clubs. So we're looking long term, short term, and all of that. That also brought a certain renewed focus on regional tourism. Trying to encourage tourism from across the borders within the African region. And therefore, there was a need to eliminate any unnecessary obstacles. Fortunately, in the ECOWAS region, there's no visa for ECOWAS citizens, but there are certain unnecessary bottlenecks with border crossings and so on. Sometimes exchange rate challenges and all of that. But those are things that we work on. By and large, I've said we've ridden the wave of COVID. There was also it gave us time to focus on the product. It's like a lot of product renewal, investment into improving tourist sites. The Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, for example, a very iconic area, has undergone tremendous change. Some of the other places, and it's ongoing work. So we want to have sites, attractions, and activities that can keep people there for longer periods, that are children friendly and that are visitor friendly, that has all the amenities to give people an enhanced experience. The other side is that there are certain unnecessary bottlenecks that we have to deal with, including
which is my second question, right?
Visas,
which is really how has COVID changed the way that you travel? Particularly, one of the interesting things was that you have to, if you do land borders, that I learned, when you're crossing into Nigeria, you have to pay the border people to stamp your passport. So I think the question is how has COVID changed?
I only want to answer for Nigeria. But I know that it's not a very comfortable thing to travel across the borders to West Africa, because some of these unofficial harassments can be a bother, But the numbers, though, we in 2019, at the end of our year of return, we had 1 million, a little more than 1 million arrivals. The very next 2020,
That was COVID.
We dropped to like 400 or something thousand. I mean, drastic drop. Of course, 2021 it came up again, 600 and something. 2022 it was like 900 and something. This year we expect to hit about a million too. So we probably at the pre-COVID levels or higher. But the expenditure per person that was in 2019 was more than $2,900 or so per average. It dropped also. You know, of course, there's pressure, inflation, the generating markets, all of that together. But the good thing is that we are creating the kind of environment. For example, we're working seriously at getting an e-visa regime there within us and South Africa. For example, effective November, there's no visas. Certain people don't have a problem. Kenyans, Zambians, Zimbabweans,
Now South Africans,
Ugandans, and they never needed a visa to come to Ghana. They've always been our brothers, you know.
Yeah.
Remember, South Africa came from the apartheid people, so we didn't extend that thing to them too.
And then I think that my second of last question, for someone who is coming to Ghana for the first time, what is the one place that they should visit? According to you, according to you. I know it depends, but for you, like, what's the one place that, like, I know, like, they should visit everywhere in Ghana, but Ben's one place to visit.
Well, different. Let me make it two.
Yeah. 2 places to visit.
I think you should do the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
Yeah.
And you should do the forts and castles along the coast, Elmina or Cape Coast.
Yeah.
Because you see, those are World Heritage monuments, and they are unique to the world. And the history of those areas go beyond Ghana. It's not just Ghana that experienced the transatlantic slave trade. Virtually the whole west coast of Africa, even stretching down to Angola, was impacted by that phenomenon. And it is this that has created the diasporan connection, because our African brothers in the Caribbean and in America see the connection to Africa, you know. So those are, but also, you know, we have tried to create a destination that's just more than roots tourism. We've deliberately created this December in GH where from 1st December to January 15th.
It's on.
Yeah, that's the party capital of the world. You have to be there.
Yeah. And then, like, also, guys, Cape Coast is a day trip away from Accra, so like you can go check it out in a day and sleep back in Accra. Last question: what are you looking to get out from the Airbnb conference, Africa Travel Summit?
No, I think we have to appreciate that whatever experience a visitor gets in the country, whether it's with the immigration office, with a taxi driver, with a hotel, with an Airbnb, forms part of his total appreciation of the destination. So as tourism board, are you the lady from the University of Johannesburg? We need to talk. So as tourism boards, we are interested in the quality and the service that is delivered by all accommodation establishments, including Airbnb. Because we are managers of the destination image, and we want to be sure that the different pieces are working. Number two, Airbnb for us is a force multiplier, because it gives another option and a wider range of travel accommodation options for both domestic and international visitors. So for us, they are good partners. And three, it's a phenomenon that we must shepherd well. So we have to make sure that any regulations that are put in place do not necessarily become an obstacle. You know, they have to meet the requirements of the country. For example, in Ghana, every accommodation, every commercial accommodation, there's a law, it's called a tourism levy. It requires that you pay 1% levy. So, for example, if your hotel room was 100 cedis, you will pay 101, and the 1%, the 1 cedi goes into a fund. There's no reason why Airbnb should be exempt from that. But the payments arrangements realize are different. And so we have to sit down in a sensible, creative, non-obstructive way, make sure that the laws are obeyed. And then we need a database also. We need to know that, look, there are 200 Airbnbs in this country. They hosted 1,000 people. This is a demographic profile. Otherwise, you can't plan. And then you need the feedback from those areas. They are telling you, oh, the country is good, is bad. Whatever the feedback is feedback, is good. It doesn't have to be positive,
Good,
but
feedback
it's
is
good.
feedback.
So that you need that to really orient your product for sustainability. So I think they are good partners. I know there's some little apprehension on the part of certain tourism boards, and the drive for revenue seems to be superseding everything else. But we should also realize that the real benefit of tourism is not a 1 point little tax that a government takes. It does, it helps. But everybody along the value chain, if you look at the multiplier, benefit. So it's much better, perhaps sometimes not even to take the tax and let the people along the road create the high, And so they are partners we want to work with. In Ghana, we are in discussions with them. We want to have a proper streamlined agreement that makes sure everybody who is on the Airbnb list platform at least has met the minimum requirement. For example, in Ghana, you cannot operate a hotel or any accommodation facility, whether it's a home. And homestays exist in our system even before Airbnb. When you haven't got a police clearance, there has to be evidence that you have no criminal record. If you were selling heroin in Nepal, you shouldn't come and run hotels in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? So we have to find a creative way of making sure that the licensing regime or the approval regime is not necessarily an obstacle, but it provides adequate safeguard so that we are sure that if you are sleeping in an Airbnb somewhere in Tamale, we can sleep knowing that you are safe, you're covered, the place is offering minimum standards of hospitality, and so on and so on. Fortunately, Airbnb already has a standard, so that does most of our job. But ultimately, Airbnb is just a platform. We are the managers of the destination, and it's our interest to see that everybody who is offering commercial accommodation is meeting the minimum requirements so that we can move as a country in a more positive direction. So that's why we're here. And then, of course, you listen to the trends, what Expedia is saying, what MasterCard is saying, and all of that. But the title of the seminar, the forum, it's something that should draw our minds to where we are as a continent, Africa. If you look at the demographics, we have the youngest population, and so on and so on. So all things being equal, I think we have the largest percentage of people who are going to tertiary education now. In Ghana, we are churning out graduates in the thousands. So is Uganda. So, and these are the people who, by their orientation, their education, become the next demand drivers for tourism. And it's important that we, as a country, try and appreciate what the trends are, what is shaping people's travel needs now, and orient our product to meet those needs. Then also, how much of digitalization do we have to introduce to facilitate all of these things? If these are the trends now, we have to be prepared to ride the wave when we get there. So that's why we're here. And of course, I like coming to South Africa. I get some good biltong I don't get in Ghana.
Guys, oh yes, and apparently Ghana has the best jollof in the world.
Thank you for knowing that. I think for that I'm going to send you a pack. Jollof is made in Senegal, Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. But even a man from Jupiter or Mars will tell you that the best one comes from Ghana, so that's all right.
Guys, that was another episode of African Travel Now with Trevor. Thank you so much to Ben. Visit Ghana, see Ghana, check out Ghana. Ghana.travel. That's their website.
Right.
Check them out. Experiences, everything is on the platform. Information, visa, what. Southers don't need a visa from the first. Check you guys, support, like, and sponsor the podcast. Till the next one. Bye.